Greetings. Now we get into the chapter 12, property crime. And the first thing I'd like to mention is that it's very important to differentiate in the statistics and in discussions in communities property crime from violent crime. And if we lump all these together, we certainly get a statistic, but sometimes it can be very misleading if we say crime increased or crime decreased. We want to know, that's fine, but we want to separate out property crime from violent crime. And you can even take that further and look at the specific crimes. Your author does an excellent job of presenting a history of property crimes and looking at the nature of criminals during different time periods, and begin to look at the different types of contemporary property crimes. Your author points out, for example, the occasional thieves versus the professional thieves, becoming a professional thief, larceny, and different types, for example, shoplifting, writing bad checks, credit card theft, stealing automobiles, fraud, confidence games, embezzlement. And I think that's really interesting to look at. That I know the first property crime I remember was my friend and I went to pick up some photographs that we had taken with a 35, probably not even 35 millimeter, probably a Kodak Instamatic camera. That's ancient. Many, many years ago, we had film that went in a camera, and then you took it to the drugstore, and they develop it in 4 or 5 days, and then you'd come pick up your pictures. And to make a long story short, we left our bicycles unlocked in front of the drugstore, went and picked up the photographs, and then when we came out, our bikes were gone. They'd been stolen. And we thought, we were just shocked because we had left our bicycles in our neighborhood and community everywhere unlocked for years and years and years, and they had never been taken before. People left their doors unlocked. But then all of a sudden we started seeing more and more theft, and people got locks, burglar alarms, dogs, cats, safety bars, all kinds of protection. And so we have to wonder, did something change, or what happened, or did property crime rates go up or down, or, and a lot of times we try to figure this out by looking at the statistics. And so it's real important to look at the specific statistics and try to make sense, especially if you have different types of property crime, and if you have the possibility that you have an individual or small group committing multiple property crimes in an area. There's a lot of fraud that goes around. Another property crime that is included in the chapter I'd mentioned briefly is arson, and the different types of arson. One thing I'd mention, if you want some additional information, I have a YouTube video on arson that I use in my criminal profiling class, and you're of course welcome to view that for additional information. What I think we're beginning to see more and more are techniques of technological nature to decrease the risk of property crimes and to prevent property crimes. A lot more surveillance, a lot more burglar alarms. Someone was telling me, why bother to get a dog when you can get a motion detection activated barking device? So a person walks by and then it activates a fake sound box that has a dog barking in it. For that matter, you might as well have a human saying something like, you have entered my property space. Please kindly leave. Thank you. Or something like that. And you also have surveillance that's increased dramatically. A lot of things are under surveillance. I was in an elevator on the university the other day, and said that, do not write graffiti on the elevator walls, and you're under surveillance, which is kind of interesting. Some of the hallways in the university, you can see cameras. Other places will allow you to log on. For example, if you look at the student union, they have several cameras. You can see it's not necessarily surveillance for criminal activities, just to show you what's going on campus. What I'd like is live video of the parking lots, to find a parking spot rapidly, or where there's not much traffic of parking. That would be really neat. Maybe someone will make an app for that one day in the near future. Anyway, I digress. But think about the motivating factors for property crimes. Think about how we treat property crimes, the differences, and again, think for yourself. How would you explain, different types of property crimes using the theories that we have already discussed and used? And what are those motivating factors, and why does someone have a career of engaging in theft, and another person steals a few times and never does again, and so on and so forth. And so this area is really huge, but given the introductory nature of our course, we just spend a short amount of time on it. And I think we'll have also some time toward the end of the semester, as we get toward the last chapter, to focus also on computer and internet related crimes, which have increased dramatically. I'll wrap up by telling you, when I was young, we had no internet crimes. Not a single one. Nope. When I was a kid, no internet crimes. When I was a young adult, no internet crimes. When I was a little bit older than a young adult, no internet crimes. And I'll let you deduce the reason that occurred. But nevertheless, things changed dramatically, and we will see that technologically based theft and identity theft and all kinds of fraud have changed dramatically in the last few years, and something that we certainly have as another specialty in criminal justice. And this wraps up this video.